Now for the really interesting part, the true game changers in our quest for robust health. Did you know that just a squeeze of lemon juice added to your spinach can boost iron absorption from it by 2 or even 3 times? It's not magic, it's biochemistry. Vitamin C literally unlocks plant-based iron, making it readily available for your body. That's why the classic pairing of meat with vegetables or fish with a slice of lemon isn't just delicious, it's a biochemical stroke of genius. But the biggest paradigm shift comes from understanding the habits that actually hinder us. That innocent cup of tea, sipped right after a hearty meal, can completely negate all the iron you just consumed. You might think you're topping up your iron stores, but in reality, the tannins in tea actually steal a significant portion of that precious mineral right from under your nose. Understanding these simple interactions is key to managing your health through food. It's not about eating more iron, it's about eating smarter. So, let's wrap this up. Battling anemia, especially for seniors, isn't about chasing expensive supplements. It's about a well-thought-out strategy right on your plate. Combine both animal and plant-based iron sources. Always pair them with a colourful, vitamin C-rich fruit or vegetable. And remember to leave a gap between your main meal and that cup of tea or coffee. Your body will thank you with a surge of strength and energy. Thanks for watching this video all the way to the end. If you found it helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss our future health tips. Now a question for you. What are your favourite iron-rich foods and how do you like to prepare them? Share your recipes and tips in the comments below. Let's help each other live healthier. Alright, let's dive into our investigation. The first and foremost reason for anemia in older adults is naturally iron deficiency. But simply saying, eat more iron, is only telling half the story. And here lies the first, and arguably most important, secret. Not all iron is created equal. That's right, you heard me correctly. Imagine your body is a house that runs on fuel. Iron is that essential fuel. But here's the catch. It comes in 2 distinct types. The first type, let's call it premium fuel, is heme iron. You'll find it in animal-based foods. Its main superpower is that our bodies absorb it incredibly easily and efficiently. Think of it like putting premium fuel in your car. It just runs better, immediately. The second type is non-heme iron. This kind is found in plants, vegetables, grains and legumes. It's still good fuel, don't get me wrong, but it's a bit more finicky. Our bodies have a much harder time absorbing it, and it needs some helpers to get the job done. Understanding this simple distinction is absolutely key. It's the foundation upon which we'll build our iron smart menu, because now we know it's not just about finding foods with iron, but about finding the right kind of iron and creating the right conditions for its absorption. Let's dive deeper into our champion, heme iron. Imagine your gut is like the bouncer at an exclusive club, very strict about who gets in. Well, heme iron is the guest with a special VIP pass. No waiting in line, no extra documents needed. It just flashes its pass and walks right in. Our body sees it and immediately understands. Aha! This one's ours. We need to put it to work right away. That's precisely why it's known as the champion of absorption. Our body can absorb up to 25 to 30% of this type of iron from foods. That's an exceptionally high rate. For comparison, with its plant-based counterpart, the numbers will be quite different, but more on that later. So, where do you find this VIP guest? As we mentioned, it's found exclusively in animal products. That includes red meat, poultry, fish, and of course, organ meats like liver. Each of these products is a true goldmine of heme iron. Remember this simple rule. If a product once ran, swam, or flew, it most likely contains valuable heme iron. Alright, let's open up our culinary treasure map. And our first stop on this journey is, without a doubt, red meat. That's right, good old beef. Or perhaps some more tender veal. This isn't just food, it's a real powerhouse of iron. Think of it this way. Every single fibre of red meat is packed with the very heme iron your body craves. Now, I know many people see red meat as a heavy food, especially as they get older, but the key here is moderation and how you prepare it. We're certainly not talking about enormous fatty steaks, not at all. Instead, think of a small serving of lean, boiled beef, perhaps the size of a deck of cards, or even a couple of tender meatballs in a light, nourishing soup. Even that small amount can give your body a powerful, much-needed boost. This is crucial. The iron from red meat is absorbed most reliably and efficiently by your body. It's, you could say, our heavy artillery in the fight against anemia. So, provided there are no medical contraindications from your doctor, incorporating a small amount of high-quality red meat into your diet 2 to 3 times a week is one of the most effective strategies for boosting your hemoglobin levels. Now let's talk about the absolute champion, the superhero among iron-rich foods, and that's beef liver. If red meat is a gold mine, then liver is the main vault within that mine, overflowing with pure gold. Seriously, the numbers are simply astounding. Just one small 100-gram serving of beef liver can contain not just an adult's daily recommended iron intake, but sometimes even double it. It's such a potent source, it can almost be considered a natural remedy. Of course, liver has a distinct flavour, and not everyone is a fan. But there are ways to make it more appealing. For example, you can prepare a delicate pâté that's easy to spread on a slice of whole grain bread, or make small liver fritters with carrots and onions. Prepared this way, its flavour becomes milder and more enjoyable. An important point, due to such a high concentration of beneficial nutrients, eating liver every day is neither necessary nor recommended. However, incorporating it into your diet once, or at most twice a week, will provide incredibly powerful support for your body and deliver a real blow against anemia. Don't overlook poultry. It also makes a valuable contribution to your iron intake, but there's a little trick to it. Remember this simple rule: the darker the poultry meat, the more iron it contains. The lean, white chicken breast, a favourite among dieters, does have iron, but only in modest amounts. However, if you look at cuts like chicken or turkey legs and thighs, it's a completely different story. This darker meat is significantly richer in heme iron. So the next time you're preparing poultry, keep this in mind. Instead of just boiling chicken breast, perhaps consider roasting a couple of delicious drumsticks or braising some turkey thighs with vegetables. Not only will this add variety to your meals, but it will also provide significantly more benefits in the fight against anemia. It's an excellent way to get your share of valuable heme iron, especially if you're not a big fan of red meat or liver. Poultry offers a lighter yet highly effective alternative. Alright, we've wrapped up the animal kingdom. What about the plant world? Here, non-heme iron takes centre stage. Let's rewind to our club analogy. If heme iron was the VIP guest, then non-heme is your average club goer. It has to wait in line, show its ID, and there's no guarantee it'll even make it inside. Our bodies absorb this kind of iron much less efficiently, only between 2 and 10%. Our gut pretty much scrutinises it, thinking, are we sure we want this? Is it even worth the trouble? But that absolutely doesn't mean plant-based iron sources are useless. Far from it. Their main advantage lies in their abundance and accessibility. We can and should consume them frequently and generously. They create what we might call an iron baseline in our system. And a little later, I'll let you in on the big secret: how to transform this humble visitor into a true VIP. How to help it breeze past any bouncer. But for now, let's explore where to find this somewhat temperamental but absolutely crucial player. Leading our list of plant-based powerhouses are legumes. They're a true treasure trove of beneficial nutrients, and yes, that includes iron. Think lentils, especially red or green, kidney beans, black beans, peas, and chickpeas, the star of hummus. All of these are your reliable allies. Picture a steaming bowl of hearty aromatic lentil soup. It's not just a meal, it's a generous serving of wellness. Legumes are fantastic because they're incredibly filling and nutritious. They're packed with protein and fibre, essential for healthy digestion, particularly as we get older. You can add them to soups, use them as a base for hearty side dishes, or create vibrant salads. For instance, a simple salad with cooked beans, fresh greens, and a drizzle of olive oil. Or why not try a creamy chickpea puree? The possibilities are endless. The golden rule when it comes to legumes is proper preparation. Most varieties, with the exception of lentils, need to be pre-soaked for several hours, or even better, overnight. This not only speeds up cooking, but crucially, it also helps your body better absorb all those beneficial nutrients, including that important non-heme iron we mentioned. So don't skip this step. Soak your legumes and they will reward you tenfold. Next up on our list of heroes is a grain beloved by many since childhood. That's right, it's buckwheat. For many of us, a bowl of buckwheat porridge evokes feelings of home, warmth, and comfort. But beyond these heartwarming associations, buckwheat is also a powerhouse of plant-based iron. What sets buckwheat apart from many other grains is its remarkably high iron content. So, a plate of fluffy buckwheat for breakfast, or as a side for lunch, isn't just about filling your stomach. It's your daily dose of wellness, a crucial step in preventing iron deficiency. What's more, buckwheat is incredibly versatile. You can enjoy it as a standalone dish, simply with a knob of butter. You can cook it with mushrooms and onions, enhancing its flavour and aroma. Or add cooked buckwheat to a salad for extra heartiness and nutrition. Don't underestimate this simple, affordable grain. It's a true superfood, always within reach. Regularly including buckwheat in your diet is one of the easiest and most effective steps you can take to boost your hemoglobin levels. Remember Popeye the Sailor cartoons? The moment he gulped down a can of spinach, his muscles would instantly balloon in size. Of course, that doesn't quite happen in real life, but there's a kernel of truth to the story. Spinach and other dark green leafy vegetables are indeed a powerhouse of nutrients, including non-heme iron. This isn't just about spinach. It includes all leafy greens, parsley, dill, arugula, and various types of lettuce. Generally, the darker and richer the green colour of the leaf, the more beneficial it is. Their huge advantage is that you can and should eat them fresh. This means all their vitamins and minerals are preserved to the fullest. A handful of fresh greens in a salad, a few spinach leaves tossed into your morning omelette, or a green smoothie. These are all excellent ways to boost your iron intake. However, spinach does have one little secret. It contains compounds called oxalates, which can slightly interfere with iron absorption. But this issue is easily solved. A quick, light cooking process. For example, if you sauté spinach in a pan for just 1 minute, breaks down most of the oxalates, making the iron much more available for your body to absorb. And now we arrive at the main event, the key strategy that transforms our notoriously tricky plant-based iron into a form our body can actually use. We've learned that non-heme iron, on its own, isn't very well absorbed. It needs a guide, a true ally, to help it navigate and overcome the hurdles in our digestive system. And that essential partner is none other than the well-known vitamin C or ascorbic acid. Its role in this process is simply monumental. Vitamin C is a true superhero for iron. It can boost the absorption of non-heme iron from plant foods by several times over, sometimes 5, even 6 times. Just let that sink in. This means that by enjoying a bowl of buckwheat alongside a vitamin C-rich food, you could be getting 6 times more benefit than if you ate the buckwheat alone. This isn't magic. It's pure biochemistry. Vitamin C transforms iron into the specific form our body recognizes, welcomes, and readily absorbs. Remember this crucial rule. Plant-based iron should always be paired with vitamin C. It's a fundamental principle. So how does this amazing principle actually work? You won't have to look far for vitamin C. It's abundant in many of the fruits and vegetables we eat every day. And the undisputed champion here? Bell peppers, especially the red ones. They pack more vitamin C than lemons. Now picture your next meal. Maybe you've prepared a comforting lentil soup or some delicious stewed beans. What's the key to boosting its power? Simply add a fresh, vibrant salad to the side. Slice up some tomatoes, cucumbers, and generously toss in strips of colourful bell pepper. Ditch the mayo. Instead, dress it with a drizzle of olive oil and a squeeze of fresh lemon juice. Voila! You've just created the perfect pairing. As you enjoy that tasty salad, the vitamin C from the bell peppers, tomatoes, and lemon juice gets right to work in your stomach. It primes the iron from your lentils or beans, ensuring it's absorbed as efficiently as possible. You get to savour a wonderful meal while also maximising its nutritional benefits. This simple food combination strategy can truly do wonders for your hemoglobin levels. This same principle works beautifully with other meals too, like your breakfast. Let's say you've prepared a wholesome bowl of buckwheat or oatmeal. How can you ensure your body absorbs the maximum amount of iron from it? It's simple. Add berries, a handful of fresh or even frozen currants, strawberries or raspberries will not only make your porridge more delicious and visually appealing, but also fortify it with a powerful dose of vitamin C. Sliced kiwi or a few orange segments are also excellent choices. Or perhaps you're grabbing a snack of nuts or dried fruit like apricots, which are also rich in iron. What should you pair them with? Not tea. Instead, opt for a glass of freshly squeezed orange juice or rosehip tea. Rosehip is truly a vitamin powerhouse, making it the perfect companion for any plant-based iron source. Remember, these pairings aren't just about taste. They represent a well-thought-out biochemical alliance that works wonders for your health. It's simple, delicious, and incredibly effective. This is a prime example of how a small habit change can yield huge results. Every good story has its heroes, but also its villains. In our narrative, our villains are certain foods and substances that actively hinder iron absorption. They act like sneaky thieves, binding the iron right in your gut and preventing it from ever being absorbed, instead escorting it right out of your system. And if you don't know these enemies by name, all your efforts to boost iron could be completely wasted. You could be eating the healthiest, most iron-rich foods, but if you pair them with these saboteurs, a large portion of that valuable mineral will simply pass right through you, unabsorbed. You'll think you're doing everything right, yet your hemoglobin levels will remain stubbornly low. So it's time for a little ID parade. We're going to expose the main iron enemies that unfortunately often sneak onto our plates. Knowing them is crucial for building a smart diet and avoiding their cunning traps. Ready to uncover the truth? Let's begin our investigation. All right, let's talk about our number one enemy, the most insidious and incredibly common: meat, tea and coffee. Yes, our beloved morning and evening brews. The trouble is, they contain special compounds called tannins. These are the very substances that give tea its distinctive, slightly bitter taste, but they also have a hidden, darker side. Tannins have a remarkable ability. They bind to non-heme iron. That's the iron found in plant-based foods, forming robust complexes that our bodies simply can't absorb. Imagine tannins as tiny handcuffs. The moment they encounter iron in your stomach, they snap those cuffs on. And just like that, this arrested iron can't make its way into your bloodstream. It's simply escorted out of your body. Studies reveal that just 1 cup of tea, consumed with a meal, can slash iron absorption by a staggering 60, even 70%. Coffee's impact is slightly less severe, but the mechanism is the same. These are simply devastating figures. Think about it. You enjoy a bowl of nutrient-rich buckwheat, and that single cup of tea essentially steals over half its benefit. So, what's the answer? Do you really have to give up your beloved aromatic tea or invigorating coffee forever? Not at all. There's a simple, yet powerful rule at play here, one you should remember once and for all. Divide and conquer. The key is to avoid drinking tea and coffee directly with your meal, or immediately after it. Imagine you've just enjoyed a hearty, iron-rich meal, perhaps stewed liver with buckwheat. Excellent. Now, a crucial pause. Give your body time. It needs at least an hour, preferably an hour and a half, to properly absorb all those valuable micronutrients from your food. Only after this waiting period can you comfortably brew yourself a cup of tea or make coffee. By then, the bulk of the iron will have already been absorbed into your bloodstream and the tannins won't be able to interfere. This is a very simple, yet incredibly important habit. Make this pause between your meal and your drink your golden rule. Simply delaying your tea or coffee by just an hour can make a world of difference and significantly boost the effectiveness of your iron-rich diet. Next up on our list of nutritional culprits is calcium. Yes, the very same calcium that's so vital for bone health, especially as we age. You might be wondering, how can such a beneficial element possibly be an antagonist? But in the complex world of biochemistry, things are rarely that simple. Calcium and iron, it turns out, are fierce competitors. They vie for the same transport pathways for absorption in our intestines. Imagine there's just one door and two people are trying to get through it simultaneously. Unfortunately, in this struggle, calcium often proves to be the stronger and more agile of the two. It essentially shoves iron aside, occupying all the available space and preventing the iron from being absorbed. This means that if you consume iron-rich foods and calcium-rich foods at the same time, a significant portion of that iron simply won't be able to break through and enter your bloodstream. A classic example of this problematic combination is buckwheat porridge with milk. Yes, a dish many have loved since childhood. We think we're getting a double benefit: iron from the buckwheat and calcium from the milk. But in reality, the calcium from the milk actively blocks the absorption of most of the iron from the buckwheat. Or, for instance, if you have a meat dish and immediately follow it with cottage cheese or regular cheese, the effect will be exactly the same. So, what's the solution? Both iron and calcium are absolutely essential for us, and cutting out dairy is certainly not an option. The answer is simple. It's all about timing. Just make sure to space out your iron-rich meals from your calcium-rich ones. For instance, if you have a beef or lentil dish for lunch, consider that your dedicated iron intake. Then save your cottage cheese, yogurt, kefir, or other dairy for a snack or dinner, perhaps 2 or 3 hours later. This way, you allow your body to absorb the iron effectively first, without any competition. Later, with a separate meal, it can just as efficiently absorb the calcium. Neither nutrient will interfere with the other, ensuring both vital micronutrients are properly utilised. This principle of meal planning is crucial. Don't pair your meat dishes with a glass of milk, and avoid adding cheese to meals rich in beans or spinach. Simply separating these foods into different meals will help you get the maximum benefit from both iron and calcium. We've spent so much time discussing iron that it might seem like anemia is solely a problem of that one micronutrient, but that's not entirely the case. Creating new red blood cells, a process called hematopoiesis, is complex and involves many steps, and just like building a house, it requires a variety of building materials. Imagine iron as the bricks. Without them, of course, you can't build a house, but besides the bricks, you also need cement to bind them together, and workers to lay them. This cement and these workers are represented by other essential vitamins, particularly those in the B group, and one of the most crucial players in this team is vitamin B12. Without it, the normal maturation of red blood cells, our oxygen messengers, is simply impossible. If there's a lack of vitamin B12, the red blood cells produced are large, immature, and can't effectively perform their job. This condition also leads to anemia, specifically known as B12 deficiency anemia. And this type of anemia is also very common among older adults. So, where do we find this vital vitamin B12? Here's a key thing to remember. Vitamin B12 is found almost exclusively in animal products. Unfortunately, plants don't produce it. This is precisely why vegetarians and vegans are at an increased risk of developing B12 deficiency anemia. However, even for those who eat meat, the absorption of this vitamin from food can become impaired with age. The primary sources of vitamin B12 are the very same foods we discussed when talking about heme iron. These include red meat, beef liver, fatty fish, like mackerel or herring, eggs, and dairy products such as milk, cheese, and cottage cheese. As you can see, nature really has it all figured out. Foods rich in heme iron are often also excellent sources of vitamin B12. By enjoying a serving of liver or fish, you effectively kill two birds with one stone. You replenish your stores of both iron and its trusty companion. Therefore, a well-balanced diet rich in animal products is the best way to prevent not only iron-deficiency anemia, but also B12 deficiency anemia. And finally, last but certainly not least, we have another vital member of our health team. This is folic acid, also known as vitamin B9. Continuing our construction analogy, think of folic acid as the project manager on a building site. It gives the orders, initiates processes, and without it, the construction of new cells, including crucial blood cells, simply wouldn't even start. Folic acid is critically important during the very earliest stages of cell division. If there isn't enough of it, the body can't produce a sufficient number of healthy red blood cells. This leads to another type of anemia, folate deficiency anemia. It often goes hand in hand with iron and vitamin B12 deficiencies, worsening the overall picture. Fortunately, finding folic acid in foods is much easier than finding B12. Its very name comes from the Latin word folium, meaning leaf, and that's no coincidence. Its primary sources are dark green leafy vegetables. We're talking about the spinach we mentioned earlier, all types of lettuce, broccoli, Brussels sprouts and asparagus. You'll also find plenty of folic acid in legumes, like lentils and beans, in citrus fruits, and in beef liver. As you can see, liver truly is a nutritional powerhouse. A balanced diet rich in fresh greens and vegetables will help you avoid a deficiency of this vital vitamin. And now for the truly fascinating part, the real plot twists. In our journey towards robust iron health, did you know that adding a simple squeeze of lemon juice to your spinach can boost your body's iron absorption from it by 2 or even 3 times? It's not magic, it's just chemistry. Vitamin C literally unlocks plant-based iron, making it readily available for your body to absorb. This is precisely why the traditional pairing of meat with vegetables or fish with a squeeze of lemon isn't just delicious. It's brilliant from a biochemical standpoint. But perhaps the most crucial mindset shift is recognizing the subtle harm of certain habits. That very cup of tea you enjoy right after a hearty, iron-rich meal can completely nullify all the iron benefits you just consumed. You might think you've replenished your stores, but in reality, the tannins in that tea have stolen a significant portion of that precious micronutrient right from under your nose. Understanding these simple interactions is truly the key to managing your health through food. It's not about just eating more iron, it's about eating it smarter. So, to summarize, addressing anemia, especially in older adults, isn't about chasing expensive supplements. It's about a well-thought-out strategy right on your plate. Combine both meat-based and plant-based iron sources. Always pair them with a colourful fruit or vegetable rich in vitamin C. And remember to allow some time between your main meal and your cup of tea or coffee. Your body will thank you with a noticeable boost in energy and vitality. Thank you for watching this video to the end. If you found it helpful, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss our future health tips. Now, a quick question for you. What are your favourite iron-rich foods and how do you like to prepare them? Share your recipes and tips in the comments below. Let's help each other become healthier.